Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson which is about how to avoid generalizations. This is one of my favourite lessons because it's a very quick and easy technique that you can use to improve your essays fast. So listen carefully. But first, let me show you what generalizations actually are. And I'm going to do that with a few examples. Here's the first example. Working in a business with other family members creates conflict. Now, I know several people who work in a family business and they don't argue. They don't have any conflict with their family members. So, from their point of view, this sentence would be completely wrong. So this generalization is inaccurate. Here's the second sentence. Nowadays, people eat more fast food than in the past. Do they? Everyone? I know I certainly don't. Now I'm 36, but 10 years ago, I ate fast food maybe once or twice a week. Now I eat fast food once or twice a year. So that sentence again is certainly simply not true for me. It's inaccurate once more. One more generalization to look at. Young people find it harder to learn technology than older people. Well, some of the older people that I know have had a lot more experience using technology and have had the money to spend on using technology and have the time to spend learning technology. So once more, that's, for me, I don't think that's 100% true. But the sentence is written as though it is a fact. So the problem with generalizations is that they basically give false information. You can't say something is 100% true for all people. It's simply hardly ever the case. Secondly, it can be quite offensive if you make a generalization in the wrong way. And thirdly, it really lacks meaning. Generalizations lack meaning. They're so general that they don't particularly have any strength to them. So they're hard to take seriously. So they don't carry much weight or much meaning in an essay. And this is why they will lower your band scores in your IELTS essay. And just to prove that point, here is the task achievement band criteria for a band 7. So as you can see here, it says for a band 7 task achievement, there may be a tendency to overgeneralize. That means that occasionally you overgeneralize, making sentences like that. So in order to get a band 8, we need to basically have no generalizations. And that's really quite an easy thing to do when you know how. And I'm going to show you how to eliminate your generalizations now. And just to mention, this is a really quick fix and it's something you should definitely do in your essays. Let's look at 3 ways we can avoid making generalizations. Firstly, we can use words like many, some, a number of, and a lot of. These are non-specific quantifiers. We can also use adverbs of frequency, such as often, usually, occasionally, and sometimes. We can also use modal verbs, may, might, can, and could. Here's a generalization that we're going to have a look at and fix it by using those types of words. Young children are influenced by sports stars, which is a cause for concern as sports stars are poor role models. Well, that's certainly a generalization because it's saying that all children are influenced by sports stars, and it's saying that all sports stars are poor role models. That's certainly not true. I'm sure we all know some sports stars that are perfectly good role models that are excellent for children to look up to. So it's clearly a generalization and not much use to us in our IELTS essays. So we could fix that easily by writing this. Young children are often influenced by sports stars, which could be a cause for concern, as some sports stars are poor role models. I'm sure you can see just by adding in those 3 or 4 words that that sentence is now a lot more realistic. It is now much more specific and believable, and is now a really good sentence to include in your IELTS essay. Notice how we've not had to change much. That didn't take a lot of work to do. You know all of those words already. Many, some, usually, can, could. They're basically not rocket science. You can do this very easily, I think. So this is a good technique for you to remember. Now here's 3 more that I'd like you to have a go at changing using any of those words I showed you on the last slide. So pause the video now and just jot down on a piece of paper how you would write these sentences and avoid making them generalizations. What words would you put in and where would you put them? Pause the video now and press play once you have made those sentences more IELTS friendly. Okay, let's now have a look at how I would write them. For number 1, I would change it to: sometimes working in a business with other family members can create conflict. Clearly, sometimes there has completely changed the meaning of that sentence and made it much more realistic. Let's have a look at number 2. For number 2, I've simply added in 1 word, and now it reads: nowadays, many people eat more fast food than in the past. Even though I'm not completely sure that is true, the fact that I've said many people shows that I'm not saying that everybody eats more fast food than in the past. So it therefore makes it more believable and it's likely to be more accurate. And for number 3, I've again added just the 1 word, and it now reads: young people usually find it easier to learn technology than older people. So I hope you can see just how easy it is to avoid including generalizations in your essays. So now you should keep that in the back of your mind as you're writing and make sure that you don't make any generalizations yourself. Remember, they lower your band score. And there's an easy way to remember some of those words, and it's simply the acronym MUM, M-O-M, and that stands for many, often, and may. Remember those 3 different ways to avoid making generalizations? Well, many includes also words like a lot of and some. Often reminds you of the adverbs of frequency, which are occasionally, sometimes, and may should hopefully remind you of modal verbs such as can and could. So remembering the acronym MUM will hopefully stop you from writing generalizations in your essays. Okay, that's the end of this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.